everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a plan with me video. I decided to sit down and plan the first 2 days of the first week of school. I wanted to apologize for my appearance. I just got back from work. It was day 2 of setup, and I really just wanted to sit down and record so I can get this video out to you as soon as possible while everything is fresh in my head. So I want you to consider a few things. I teach 3rd grade, so not everything I do may be suitable for your students. For everything that I mentioned, I tried to show you a hard copy so that you could see what I was talking about and make more sense of what I was doing. Also, anything that I show you, you can find on Teachers Pay Teachers under my account or under the teacher accounts that I mentioned in the video. Also, just because I planned for the first 2 days doesn't mean it's set in stone. I happen to work with a very collaborative team, so it might just be that I'll change a few things after we meet, or I might rearrange the order of some things. So at least now I'll have something to bring to the table and I can give some ideas, but I also know that I'm going to be flexible and be open to new ideas as well. Whether you're a new teacher and need a starting point, or you're a returning teacher and you just want some new ideas on how to start school, I hope that you find this video helpful. There are many ideas out there. Keep in mind that the first week of school is going to be about building community and establishing routines and procedures. Don't feel like you have to start instruction on the first day of school. It's not going to work to your benefit and the kids are not going to like you. So make sure you take time to get to know your kids and to give them opportunities to get to know one another as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you find something helpful to help you for this coming year. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. So as promised, I'm bringing you the plan with me for the first few days of the first week of school, and I'm really excited to share this with you. I'm gonna give you some tips, and I'm also gonna walk you along my thought process for everything that I will be showing you that I have written in my planner. I also wanted to let you know that the next video is going to be a walkthrough of the agenda that I will be making and posting in my classroom based off of the plans that I'm making right now. I apologize that I decided to write everything in now, because otherwise you would have had to sit through me erasing and rewriting and moving things everywhere. So I just kind of wanted to show you, I just wanted to be straightforward and just show you exactly what's going to happen and walk you through my thought process. So let's go ahead and get started. The first tip I'm going to recommend is to never throw away your lesson planner from the year before, because you might find it useful for coming up with your plans for the next school year. Now, it doesn't mean to say you're going to copy everything, because every school year is a new school year and you have a different set of kids, and it's not always the best idea to just copy and paste. But I'm just saying that so that you have somewhere like a starting point. So something that you've used the year before that's worked for you can help you with new ideas in the next year. So that's going to be one of my recommendations for you. So you'll notice that the first day of school is August 29th, which is my birthday, so that's kind of exciting. And I'm going to be planning across the row, so I'm going to be going in this direction. Now, subjects don't really matter on the first day of school, and I really don't even know what my schedule is, so I didn't fill in the blank boxes because I don't know what subject is going to be taught at what time of the day, and these are really just not subject related anyway. At least some of them aren't. So I'm going to start off the beginning of the day with an All About Me packet, and this is going to be waiting for them on their desks as they walk in. This is a packet that I created. It's an activity packet to get to know your student and so that they can share some information with you. And this is going to be good because it's going to keep them busy in the morning while you're greeting everyone and, redirecting students, if they're kind of misbehaving already as soon as they walk in. That's just going to be something to keep the whole class, busy doing something while you get situated and while they get situated. And there's nothing wrong with that. So you can buy that on my Teachers Pay Teachers store. if you are interested. And something I also forgot to mention was before I even sat down to start planning, I came up with this like kind of to-do list, I guess it is. And I sorted everything between routine and procedure. Now, some of them kind of overlap. One can be considered a routine, one can be considered a procedure, or both of them. But I really just wanted a place to jot down everything that I knew I was going to have to cover on the first few days of school. And it's not everything made it onto my planner for the first 2 days. But that will be helpful before sitting down with your planner. Okay. Every time you see IB, that is icebreaker. So I have planned an icebreaker so that they can get to know me, but also so that they can get to know each other as well as me get to know them. So the first icebreaker is going to be this really fun activity called Find Your Joke Partner, and this is from a Primary Owl on Teachers Pay Teachers, and this is so much fun. I tried it for the first time during summer school and my kids loved it, so I had to like make them. So it's gonna look something like this, like puzzle pieces, and you're gonna pass them out, and then they are going to have to go around and find their joke partner, and they're gonna get a really big kick out of it. So I believe these go together. No, that's not it. Oh, it's this one. So for instance, one kid will have, why did the robber take a shower? And then the other one will have, so it could get a clean getaway. And this is how you'll know they match, because it makes sense and the puzzle pieces fit together. So go check that out. That is going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to try that. After the icebreaker, we're going to move into morning routines, and I'm going to have a flow chart that we're going to talk about. We're going to walk through it, and then we're going to do a mock morning routine. Then we're going to move right into a read aloud, and I'm really sorry because I know it gets a little bit blurry and it's not as visible, but under read aloud I have ground rules, because this read aloud is going to set the tone for establishing ground rules. I like it for my students to establish their own rules and not me have everything written down for them, because then they get this sense of ownership and accountability. And I'm going to be reading the story The Day the Monster Came to School, which is a story I found online. It was a PowerPoint story, and I'm not sure who the author is. I believe it was retold by someone, but definitely you can find this online. So I have that written here. This should take up about a good hour. I know every time we do ground rules, it takes about an hour to do. Then I decided that we're going to do a classroom tour. And for this, I'm not gonna it's not gonna be me walking around and talking about everything and then saying, and then this is the classroom library, and then follow me, this is the writing center. I am going to make this a little bit more fun than that. So I'm thinking of making like an I Spy game in a way, so it'll be a little bit more fun. But then again, I'm going to plan that. I'm not just going to wing it on that day. So remember, I'm very big on having a procedure and planning everything out before trying it. The next activity, and then I also wrote fire drill. I know we always have a fire drill on the first day of school. I just don't know what time it's going to be held because we haven't received our schedule yet. We haven't started pre-service week yet. So once I find that out, that'll just go in wherever it needs to go in. Next, we're going to move on to preparing materials, but I also have an icebreaker there as well. So then we're going to do another icebreaker where they get to know me, and then we're going to do an icebreaker where they can get to know each other and I can get to know them. And this one, I believe, is from the Barnard. Is it from the Barnard? No, this one is from a creative clinical social worker on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I loved this because she had 3 different versions, and she had a blank one that you could fill in with your own descriptors if you wanted to. So they're going to be doing this one, and the kids love this one. So then we're going to move on to preparing materials, and I'm going to have a PowerPoint that explains that. I'm going to model it for them. I'm going to have all the materials ready so they can just have the stickers that they need. I'm going to have extra folders and journals ready to go. I've done this many years, and I feel like we can do this in 20 between 20 and 30 minutes. If any kids, for the most part this year, I'm going to have them do this independently and I'll be walking around to help. But I really want them to kind of learn that I'm going to be doing a lot of modeling, and they're going to be kind of mimicking what they see as well as learning from each other. So I really want this to be like independent. I want them to label their own folders and their own journals. And I know some of them will finish earlier than others, so they can continue working on their All About Me if that's the case, while I go around and help everyone else. Then I have, for the next activity, this is going to wrap up the end of the day, I have mail distribution. Now this is something that I didn't put in my plans last year, and this really kind of just crept up on me in the first day of school, and it really backed me up. So this is kind of a big deal because on the first day of school, the kids get so much mail, and we have to pass out all these forms and booklets, and we have to walk them through what comes back to school and what stays home. And then we distribute their Wednesday folders. Even though it's going to be a Monday, we're definitely going to pass mail out on the first day of school. And and then we're going to also talk about planners and the importance of planners. So, and then we're going to have to actually distribute the mail and distribute the planners, write our names on our planners. So that's going to take a while. So that's what I'm thinking will end the day. And then that'll bring us to the dismissal routine, which is another flowchart. I haven't done this in the past, but if we have a morning routine flowchart, I think it's important to have a dismissal routine flowchart, especially because I know at the end of this last school year, the expectation was for our classes to be silent during dismissal because a lot of students were missing the bus. So in order to, provide that structure and to maintain that, quiet level during the dismissal, because it's probably one of the loudest times of the day, I decided to create a dismissal routine flowchart. Now, next to that box, I have other, and this is in case, let's say all of this is not enough. Now you have to keep in mind that more than likely one of these things is going to have to get bumped into day 2, which is why I always do this in pencil. So remember to be flexible. But in case this were not enough, I have a few other things here that, well, first of all, we're going to be practicing how to line up. I'm going to be using attention grabbing strategies and introducing them throughout the day. But bathroom procedure, that's another thing I can do with them. I can also look into this other box here, All About Me, reading response journal. These are other items that I already have prepared and that I can just do if I were to run out of things to do, which I don't see happening. But you always want to over prepare rather than to be under prepared, and that's a lesson I've learned the hard way in my first couple of years of teaching. Next to that, I have my to-do list, and this is going to be the things I have to do with my students before the end of the day. Like, there's just no way around it. I have to record their dismissal arrangements so that I can help them get home at the end of the day. I have to make sure they all have ordered lunch and that I turn that in first thing, and make sure that they know their PIN numbers. I'm also, assigning numbers isn't going to be too important, but I have it there, and then making sure they have their name tags as well. So that's everything I'm going to have to do with them as well. So you'll notice that day 1 is pretty jam-packed. So ideally, if everything gets covered on day 1, for Tuesday, August 30th, day 2, I have what I would like for my students to do. The first thing they're going to do is we're going to review the morning routine. Now, by day 2, the morning routine flowchart will already be up because we will have already learned about it and we will have practiced it. So now they're going to get a chance to try it on their own. Of course, I'll walk them through it again. They'll have each other to help one another. And then we're going to do another read aloud. And this read aloud is going to be for the issue bin that I will have in my classroom. And we're going to call it the Fuzzies and the Swampies. So I'll introduce that, and this will lead into what class meeting is and what that's going to look like. Then, since we will have already prepared our materials and folders and we have labeled everything, we're going to organize our desks. And I'll have pictures on a PowerPoint that shows them what neat desks look like. and I'm going to give them a chance to make sure that they organize their desk. I'm not going to be too much of a stickler like I have been in the past with organizing their desks and where everything belongs. I'm really just going to let them be their own leaders in that. They can organize their desk as long as everything is neat and everything has a home. If they finish that, they're going to finish their All About Me packets. Down below, I have town hall meeting because according to my plans last year, we had a town hall meeting on day 2, and I believe it's going to happen on day 2 of this year as well. It may not happen right after read aloud. It may happen during. It may happen way at the end. It depends on the schedule, but then again, I don't have that. So my schedule is very flexible in that it can happen and it won't be a big deal in day 2. Then we're going to go on to classroom jobs. So classroom jobs, I created this list of each job, and I've created descriptions. I write who, what, and when, and I describe what they do. We're going to go over those, and I call it all hands on deck. I got the idea from Pinterest about 3 years ago, and then I will assign them their jobs for the week. For the end of the day, I have planned that they will be watching the Kid President video. It's one of the videos where he talks to teachers and students about being motivated and working hard. So I thought that would be a really nice thing to do at the beginning of the school year. And I also have that planner. So let's say we didn't get to finish covering everything about the planner. We can continue day 2. And then we will review the dismissal routine as well, and they will get to practice for the dismissal arrangements. And then on the side, again, if I for some reason run out of things to do, I can pull from this list as well. So this list, I guess, is going to be good for the entire week. If I run out of things to do, I can pull from that list. Throughout both days, I will be, having a time to practice lining up. You also have to remember, if you're going to go over the fire drill, if you know there will be a fire drill, you have to take 10-15 minutes out of the schedule to talk about your expectations and to even practice it. I know it's a practice drill, so that in and of itself will be practice, but you also want to talk to them about what your expectation is and why you have such high expectations. And also when they come back from the fire drill, you want to debrief and talk about what worked and what didn't work well for the fire drill. For day 3, I didn't finish planning, and I'm going to stop right here because I'm going to be honest, I work with a team that we just mesh so well together. We work really well, and we always put in our, perspective, and we tweak things as needed. So because I work in such a collaborative team, I have a feeling some of these things are going to change. For example, when I meet with them for my first collaborative meeting and we try and plan out our first few days of school, I'm going to give them my input on what I think I'm going to do, but I'm also going to welcome their opinions, and I'm going to make any changes as necessary. So this, even though this is a good starting point, but if there's something I forgot to add for the first day of school, then by all means, I am definitely going to add it. That's just, what having the collaborative spirit is all about, is welcoming other perspectives and using them for the better. So that's all to say that for day 3, I wrote it even lighter because I have a feeling that some of this is going to shift over to the next day. According to my planner last year, I didn't introduce reading and math workshop until day 4. So you never know. I wrote this twice because I have a feeling this might happen on Wednesday and this might happen on Tuesday. So remember to be flexible. Remember that not everything is going to go as planned, but you would rather overplan than underplan. For my goal for this week, I wrote to start off strong by establishing ground rules, procedures, and going over routines. I hope that you found this video helpful and you found this as a starting point if you're a new teacher. If you're a returning teacher, I hope that this helped jog your memory so that you can get started on your plans for the first day of school. Now remember, this is not all planning is about. It's about gathering your resources, your materials. It's about planning ahead, the directions and the procedures for each activity that you're going to do. So if you're a brand new teacher, it is going to be a lot of work in the beginning, but it's all going to pay off year 2, year 3, and so on and so forth. And as you build on your years of teaching, you're going to be able to enhance things and make them better as you progress. So I want to wish everyone a fantastic first week of school. Let me know if you have any questions down below. And don't forget that coming up next is going to be a video where I'm going to walk you through a presentation that I'm going to show my kids. And it really just is the agenda where I have everything that I'm going to do right over here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment down below and don't forget to click the subscribe button. I also have a Teachers Pay Teacher store and a blog spot, so go check those out. I'll have all the links down below for you. Just click on show more. Till next time guys, bye.